Hello and welcome back. I am starting a stream on time. Okay, not on time, but with everybody on screen. So, that's like a first for a while. I've had people popping in late and everything. But for those of you who don't know, my name is Morgan Hazelwood, and I am an actively querying fantasy writer, and this is November, which means NaNoWriMo, or National Novel Writing Month. So we are going to be sprinting. If you are not a writer, or if you're not in a writing mood today, you can use your sprint for snacks or folding laundry or playing with your cat. But for me, I got to get my words in. So there are going to be a lot of sprints today. So let's go ahead and have people introduce themselves based on the direction of my screen. I think Doc is next.
Okay. Hi there. I am Doc Coleman. I am an independently published steampunk author who writes a steampunk comedy adventure. And you should be able to find my links down below in the notes. But right now for today, my NaNoWriMo project is going to be the third book in my steampunk series, The Adventures of Crackle and Bang.
Ooh.
Excellent. And Sako?
I was about to talk and then I coughed. Howdy neighbors, I'm Sako Toomey, also known as Voit. I write horror and I'm a witch and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those two things. If you are interested in videos that pertain to marketing for authors, I have a whole playlist of them on my channel, Sako Toomey Voit. And it's not just me talking, it's a whole bunch of other author tubers like Courtney Project and Lisa Daly and BC Brown Books and it, like other lovely author tubers. And I would drop by sometime. I would love to see you.
Okay. So when it comes to sprint lengths, what are y'all's favorite for writing? 15, 10, 20, 30?
25 is like nice for me.
20 or 25 fits nicely for me.
Sure.
15 always feels a little bit too short.
It really does. And I know me, I can't edit in a sprint. I need a chunk of time, because just when I get into the vibe, then we're done. And that's like editing, I need larger chunks. So, I mean, Devin is here. Hello and welcome. Devin is a believer in the 75-minute sprint. I think he's confused between writing session and sprints.
Yes, he is.
That's a writing session where you just go for 75 minutes and then you're done. But within those
either that or he's doing track and field.
Right. That's for marathoners. I am not one of those. So, so we know what everybody here on screen is working on today. What are the rest of y'all working on? Dun, dun, dun.
I am working on my nano project as well, The Shattered Child. It is a story about a man who has discovered in his adulthood that he was adopted.
Ooh.
And he goes in search of his origins.
And it's not fantasy at all?
I'm at the moment it is not fantasy.
When he discovers his origins, it might become fantasy.
It might. I'm
so confused.
I know, right? I am questioning as to whether or not this is going to be part of the Metaphysical Chronicle series, or if it's going to be a standalone, or what's going on. But I'm going to write it as the mystery that it is, a mystery thriller sort of situation. And I might add magic later.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Can fix it in post.
We can fix it in post. Yeah.
Great. Love it. So, okay. I think pretty much everybody here is a nano person, but it might not.
Except Devin.
Devin.
Really? So we have a question from Hurt Yog. Do you guys answer questions on the stream? The answer is yes. Do you see the meta-ness of us answering the question about if we answer questions?
Do you have a further question, Hurt Yog?
Oh, Devin is not nanoing. What is Devin working on though? Cookies? I mean, if it's cookies, let me know
because we could use cookies. Snacks are important.
Right? Yeah. My writing is 50%. Little off topic. We're mostly writing, but what do we think of the Hawaiian independence movement? I didn't know there was one. So I am neither opposed nor for it. I think,
I think Hawaii should not be an American property. That's me. I think it should go back to the indigenous.
Yes. I think a lot of things were done improperly when the U.S. annexed Hawaii, especially in terms of the things that were done to the indigenous people. But I don't know. There's you could make a very good case for wanting to undo a lot of the horrors that we've committed in the past, but there's also the fact that, well, while some Native Hawaiians keep themselves apart, others have blended in, and there's a whole new American economy that's moved to the islands, and that's a very complicated thing to sort out.
Yeah, it is.
Peace outing without a plan has never worked well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Hawaii did used to be a monarchy. In fact, the hereditary family is sort of still there, but it sounds like she is also the descendant of some of the American white planters as well. I think there was some intermarriage there. So it gets a little wiggly when the colonizers don't know how willing the marriage was, et cetera, et cetera. I was not.
Now, it might be interesting if Hawaii remained associated with America, but was basically an independent protectorate, so that it governed itself more than it does as a state. But yeah, that's very political. I'm not feeling very political today.
So anyway,
but we've got other people who've joined us.
Yeah. Hello,
hi, Michaela.
And let's see. Devin says that he's working on multiple outlines and trying to salvage a past Nano project. I've got 22,000 words in this current story from last year's NaNoWriMo that went from space fantasy to tax fraud and school field trips that I'm trying to fix. So, and Devin is not making cookies because diabetic. So, Pertyog says,
I think more like DC.
Well, no, I was thinking kind of like a British crown colony. If you look at the British Empire, let's admit it, they did some horrible things all over the world in order to grab territory. But in time, they let people become independent nations while still being part of the empire. And it has led to a very strange relationship.
They definitely didn't leave their colonies quite as badly off as the French did.
No.
The French turned their colonies into hot messes and made sure nothing would work when they pieced out.
And then failed.
Yeah. But anyway, most of us are here for the productivity part of the stream, especially since we are in NaNoWriMo days. So let's share my screen. Let's share my audio so you can hear my gorgeous little chimey things. And let's share the correct thing. And let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, sprint. And we're back. So I'm going to give everybody a second to do some math, assuming they need to.
For those of you that don't have something that computes your word count automatically.
I got 470 words. I am not sad.
Nice. I got 442 words.
Ooh, fist bumps. Solidarity, though.
I think that's slightly better than I have been doing in sprints before, but I think part of that is because it's been a longer sprint than we used to do.
Yeah, there is that.
But
some people may have noticed I had some cat intervention.
Yes, I did notice. Yes.
I had a cat intervention as well. She came up and just kept rubbing against my arm and wouldn't let me type anything until I picked her up for a bit.
I mean, have you considered not completely neglecting your cat and giving her the love she deserves?
While writing?
No. While writing? What are you talking about?
So how was your sprint, Sako?
Oh my God. So I just, from 2 to 4, I recorded a Mage the Ascension game that I'm going to debut on Thursday.
Ooh, I knew that was coming up.
Yeah. I muted myself.
No.
For the whole...
So we can hear everybody else.
But you.
But me.
You just have to dub it over, right? No.
That is kind of my plan, is to see how much I can dub over and do a little like intro thing. Hi, so I muted myself during all of this and I had to dub it over. So if the words don't line up with the mouth moving,
deal with it.
Deal with it. Yeah.
So while we were sprinting, Spence swung by. Hello, called us dumplings and is making dinner.
Yay.
Now I'm curious if Spence is making dumplings. Over on Twitch, Kelly swung by. Hello and welcome. And Michaela only wrote for 12 minutes. Got 155 words. Nice. But writes by hand. Yeah. My pace is much slower by hand. Not that I hate it. I mean, I do a lot of stuff at journals, especially at conventions. I like writing my notes by hand, but I find it easy to write notes by hand and hard to draft by hand. Yeah. I get tired after about 7 pages.
Yeah.
So, and my handwriting quality starts dropping. Dropping.
I know that feeling after 4-hour-long meetings at work.
So, hello. We have Life with Tosh here. Hello, Tosh. Have not done much writing at all this week. Here's hoping I can get at least a few tonight. I hear that.
Nice.
Definitely been there, but I am keeping up with my Nano, just barely, even if I go to bed at 3 a.m. to get my words in. I count anything before bed as for the previous day. Luckily, you can edit your previous day's target or word count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while I have been lagging behind, I am still at the point where I am not so far behind that my words needed per day is over 2,000.
Nice.
So if I can get myself back up and start doing those 2,000 word days regularly, I can catch back up.
Yeah.
Originally, I had intended on doing 2,000 a day anyway, so that Sundays I could take off.
Yeah.
But I took this week off, so
now you need those 2,000 word days all the more.
All the more. Yeah. I am doing a 5K day come November 17th.
Okay.
So I'm determined to get at least a little bit of word count catch up.
I've got a couple days off from day job later this week, and I'm taking off all next week. So I figure I've got time to come back. I just need to get the pace in and start hitting it right.
I did the sequel to my first manuscript, so I had all the world and the characters like firm in my head. I managed a nano and a half, but other than that, I usually barely get my words in for the day, and then go to bed at 12:30, 1.
See, when I was writing the first book in this series, the words just kind of flowed out of me, and it's like that was the only time I've ever actually won nano. Of course, another part of that was because I was also carpooling and writing in the carpool.
Yeah,
but since doing book 2 and now working on book 3, it's like the world is in my head, but I'm still dealing with these muddy places in the middle where it's like you're going from A to B. You just did A. You know what you're going to do when you hit B. How do you get there?
Yeah.
So
definitely been there. Jennifer Brown swung by and said hello and congrats again on the new book, Sako.
Thank you so much.
What? Tell me more about this new book. I know nothing.
Oh.
And if she's lying, I know nothing. So tell me.
No, okay. I actually have a blurb that I kind of want to
toss it in the comments.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll catch up on the comments while you find your blurb.
Okay, thank you.
Spence has been stopping at 2,000-ish, so she doesn't burn out. It feels pretty sustainable, so I'm hoping I can keep up with it after Nano. That's awesome. Tosh said, I was initially planning a reverse Nano, but that quickly went the way of the dinos. I forgot I was starting an online course on Wednesday. Womp womp.
So reverse nano is when you're editing and you have to remove 50,000 words from a completed manuscript.
I'm not 100% sure, right? So Kelly says, lol, we need to lobby Congress to pay writers for contributions to culture. NaNoWriMo's is 8 to 12 hours for me, but a lot of that is editing. Well, you're doing Nano wrong if you're editing, but I understand some people need to edit when they write. So I get that.
It's like edit the last sentence, maybe edit the last paragraph, but then just throw words down and put notes in to edit later.
I can do that to some degree. I have definitely been bouncing earlier in my manuscript a lot more than I normally do to add in details because I changed the world slightly. So
that's fine because you're adding words to earlier parts, but if you're going to take out words and go back and like change the font to strike through and put a note as to why you're removing it and then go back to the end.
Yeah, you still get to count those words.
Yep.
So
all right.
Speaking of, okay, did you drop in yet your info blurb?
I found my blurb.
Okay.
You're going to read it now.
It might be a little long to do it in a message.
Gotcha. Then just read it then.
Okay. Daisaku Watson, a Japanese-American bounty hunter, investigates demonic activity on behalf of the Mage Council, a powerful metaphysical organization overseeing magical energies on Earth. When a teenage Latina social activist, Justicia Torres, is charged with bombing a government building during an LA protest march, Watson must discover if the fires are the result of the natural mage abilities or as a result of someone who has sold their soul to a demon for power. With the help of his friends, a cop and a clairvoyant, Watson discovers this simple arson case is more complicated than meets the eye. Instead, he finds himself mitigating an evolving war between heaven and hell, with demons and celestials roaming the earth in human guises. The balance has been tipped, and he is running out of time to decide whether Justicia is friend or foe.
Ooh.
Sorcerer or warlock?
Dun, dun, dun. So that's Flambeau. It is pre-orders are up now. We actually go super live on our launch on December 11th. So everything will come in by then.
So I saw something about it being a book 3.
It is book 3 in the Metaphysical Chronicles. It is a standalone.
Okay.
Each of the books are standalones, in fact. You can read them out of order. You can not read some and read others. And it's kind of like Sherlock Holmes in that regard. It's a serial.
It's an episodic series.
It's an episodic series.
If you've got the same characters having separate independent adventures, it's an episodic series.
So
got different characters in the same area. There's another word for it, and I forget what it is. But.
Yeah, so we're doing books 1 and 2 have the same character, and then book 3 has another character. Books 4 and 5 and 6 we'll see in the future as to which continuation we intend on going with.
Are the characters from books 1 and 2 and book 3 going to collide at some point?
I certainly hope so.
Okay. So it all makes sense in the big arc.
I hope so.
Yep. Hi.
Okay.
My cat.
Well, we are still in the middle of NaNoWriMo, so you know what that means?
More sprints.
More sprints.
You gonna look at Spence's comment before we jump into another sprint?
Yes. I'm sorry. I was on the wrong thing. Oh, okay. Spence says, I've been editing along as well. I get my 16 to 18,000 words further in the draft and go back and edit a previous scene. And since I'm an underwriter, even if I delete, I'm still adding more than I delete.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
I'm an overwriter and I go back and I still add words. So
yeah, I'm an overwriter, but I have to remind myself that if I'm stuck, it's okay to underwrite in order to move on to places where I know what to write.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we'll fix it in post.
Yeah. We'll fix it.
We are writers. We are not improv.
Right now.
At the time.
I have another friend.
Meow meow.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. Meow meow. Oh, meow meow. Oh, such a meow meow.
Okay,
Sprint.
Yeah.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, boom. Let's do this. And we're back.
All right.
I got over 500 words.
In that sprint? That's impressive.
I am not sad. I mean, the cat wasn't even helping. So
I only wrote for 5 minutes, but I got 106 words in those 5 minutes.
That's solid.
That's pretty solid. I'm not mad. I had some chores to do, and I had some. I wanted to watch the sunset for a little bit, so I went out for a cigarette and enjoyed the sunset.
Nice.
So I would say that was a really full 25 minutes for me.
Yeah.
Okay. And I got 432 words, which added into what I've written before brings my total up over 1,000 words for the day.
Nice.
If we carry on well, I may just get my 2,000 word in today.
Yeah, you are like on a roll today.
Yeah, I'm hitting one of those places where the scene is more easily planned out.
I get that.
But I haven't gotten to the exciting stuff yet.
Yeah, I'm at 1,039 words for today, so right there with you. In 2 sprints. What the? Oh, I usually do 20 or 15-minute sprints. That would.
Yeah.
And I've been having like my first sprint is like 150 words, maybe 200, like little warm-ups before I really get going. So
I did a little over 200 words before we got started here, and have had 2 400-word sprints. So see, I'm up to 1,097 for the day.
Yeah, that's. I mean, when I'm on a roll, 2 hours is what it takes for me to get my words in on average.
Right on.
When I'm not on a roll, it could be all day. So,
or all week, like it was for me.
So, popping over to the comments. Kelly said over on Twitch, if he doesn't edit chapters once complete, he doesn't edit chapters once complete. It's in progress. I have to stop reconciling the basic outline with panting at it, I suppose. Haley is here. Hello, and Berg 9K. Oh yeah, boom.
Nice going.
Today or Nano. I mean, either way is awesome.
Either way is still amazing.
9,000 words is a lot. So, Michaela just finished Act 1 with 16,000 and change for Nano.
Nice.
Barely. Oh, it's 12:30. Yeah. Still a little behind on my goal. Nano and a half. But I can keep up with it tomorrow. Yeah, definitely. So
you deserve a break.
Sleep well.
Sleep well.
Kibby is here. Hello. Lurking while doing my makeup.
Yay.
And Jennifer says, Kibby, what time is your live tonight?
So Kibby's live is going to be at 10:30 Eastern.
Okay.
It is her 40th birthday celebration.
Woo!
So, yep.
Yeah.
It's going to be an adventure.
And remember, it's Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time now.
No longer daylight savings time. No daylight is being saved. No.
So people in other time zones, remember we are, either you moved with us or you have to recalculate where we are in relation to you.
Yeah.
And Jennifer, is trying to decide what to do on Tuesday. It's her 3rd wedding anniversary, but unfortunately she'll be spending it alone. She wants to celebrate the love we had and honor her husband's memory.
We could have a party.
We could.
Jennifer, are you up for like celebrating your husband and feeling the love on Tuesday? I'd be happy to help help with that endeavor.
Let us know what you feel up to. Definitely.
Yeah, let us know what you feel up to.
So yeah.
Cool. But yeah, happy birthday, Kiwi. And also, yay, Fritos.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's snack time. I'm gonna mute myself for a moment while I open this bag.
I mean, obviously.
Okay.
Words are snack-tastic,
I wish I had snacks.
right?
Driving needs to be snack driven.
Tibby thanked Devin for tossing in the time because her hands had makeup on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, awesome. Well, do we want to chat? Do we want to sprint? Where are we?
I think we have enough time for one more
Yeah.
sprint, and then we can do a little chat on the way out.
That sounds good to me, especially since the words seem to be relatively coming.
Yeah.
So not sad today, although I'm not quite sure how this next part is going to work. I mean, I know what has to happen, but dealing with characters that haven't met before, personality meshes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know 2 of the characters, but there are going to be 3 more because
I am also a planter. So I'm like, this is what I want to accomplish. However I get to accomplish that is up to the gods. Like
this scene is main character is introduced to other main character and the crew of the ship. So I know what's happening. There we go. That's
the goal. That's the goal. However that happens is that's the adventure.
I have found that one useful technique for doing things like that is to throw in a character who's a pain. Because for one thing, that makes your narrative seem a little bit more realistic, that you run into somebody you have trouble with, and sometimes you can tell more about the characters that you're meeting with how they deal with the troublemaker, whether they support him or her or it, or whether they dress them down and tell them to behave.
Gotcha.
And if nothing else, it gives you good words of dialogue.
It does. Dialogue writes so much faster than like anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, no, action sometimes does. But when I write action, you also see me. Although a little weird when it's tentacles fighting. And I don't have enough limbs to really like, right?
This one and this one.
So Jennifer says your Fritos have inspired her despite the fact she just ate. What do you have to say for yourself?
There is a singular like singles bag of Utz potato chips.
There's a single serving. No.
I mean, obviously.
And I am trying not to eat them. I'm trying to save them for my husband because he bought them for himself. But they're taunting me.
The lesson that I have learned from the pandemic and from being isolated for so long is always have 2 of everything. And you consume one and you replace it, because then if the store doesn't have it, you still have one.
I would like to say, like, when I was living with my ex, there is a statute of limitations on I bought this for me, and it's about 3 weeks. I'm sorry. If it's been 3 weeks, month and a half, and you haven't gotten into it, it is now fair game.
Yeah.
You can't just hoard it forever and let it go bad. Like,
yeah.
Like, I got a Christmas orange, like the chocolate ones that you smash open.
Yeah.
We were still working on it in July. At that point, it's pretty much fair game.
I am inclined to agree.
So
yeah, I'm kind of with you there, although the responsibility is on the person that bogarts the food to replace it at the first appropriate moment.
Yes, but if it's, say, a chocolate orange that you typically get for the holidays,
yeah,
I think finishing it off before it goes bad is kind of like a service of honor there, you know? Making sure it doesn't go bad, and it's not something you usually expect to have year round. You've made it last 6 months, pretty sure.
Yeah,
it's fair game at this Voit.
Just don't touch my peppermint bark reserves. So
Oh,
I'm not a huge peppermint chocolate person, so
I am.
I am.
So-
I am.
I'm not saying I won't eat them. I mean, but I'm a peanut butter and chocolate gal first.
Oh, okay.
Well,
So
there are Reese's peanut butter cups. So now this conversation is making people.
Yeah.
okay, right. We were sprinting.
Yes.
We were
Sprinting,
sprinting.
not
There was-
discussing food.
But now that we're discussing food,
We're
I
now
think
having
gonna
snack
see
driven
if I have
sprintings.
any ice cream left.
Anywho, in 3, 2, 1, let's get some words in. Or snacks in, maybe both.
Or both. Both is good.
And we're back. So, how was your sprint?
I did some self-care and ate some ice cream and got 305 words, which doesn't suck for me.
Nice. Doc?
Sorry, I had to do a little math. I forgot to reset my word count at the beginning of the sprint, but it looks like I got 355 words in.
Nice.
So not quite as smooth as earlier, but still respectable.
Right.
Nope.
Let's see. I had, 3, 5, 3, 1, 0 minus 3, 5, 8, 1, 8 equals, I got 508 words.
Cool.
So not sad. 508.
And I'm at,
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm at 1452 words for the day. So
Nice.
I just need to put in another 500 words to be back on track.
Awesome. I'm super excited for you. That's awesome. I need about 150 and I'm done for the day. So I might do another 15-minute sprint after this. We can stay on or I can hop off. Either way, doesn't matter to me.
Right
So,
on.
okay. Well, I'm gonna hop into the sprint or the chat and see what's up.
Okay. I was about to say, I was like, wow, we are
bonus
on
sprint. No.
Not that much. So Alley Cat swung by. Hello and
Hi,
welcome. And we got a Chandra. Wow.
Hi,
And a words fall. I'm getting the feeling somebody else's live just ended.
Yeah, I was going to say, so somebody did something we weren't invited to.
Clearly. So words fall says, I know we added eat other on something, but I forgot what. Oh, added each other on something, but I forgot what.
Gotcha.
Hello, just in case, and welcome. Not writing today. Legit 3 days at the Copenhagen Book Fair. Oh my gosh.
And it ended at 7. Holy cow.
What time zone is that? Yeah. I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Whatever time zone Copenhagen is, maybe?
Why are you conscious?
Yeah.
So, Wordsfall asked, how late am I? Typically, we would be wrapping up in about 3 minutes, but I think I'm going to hang on for one more sprint, even if it's a short one. So, and hello, Eva. Hello and welcome. Devin did food.
Always good to do food.
I like food. I'm a huge fan. Words fall right. Got 27 words. So that's awesome. Kibby got no words, but got my AI makeup done. And Alley Cat read about 30 pages of the 3rd Harry Potter book. Excellent use of your sprint.
Jennifer, I'm serious.
Yeah. I am booked in the evening, but during the daytime, I definitely have some time available.
And I can do stuff in the evening if you want to do stuff in the evening, or I can do stuff in the day if you want to do stuff in the day. Yeah. Just let me know.
Yep, definitely. So we are here for you. We are not here to impose upon you what we think would be good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I totally agree with Jennifer. Kibby doesn't need eye makeup because Kibby is gorgeous.
I feel like I'm missing that. There's importance to the eye makeup that I'm not clued into, but I'm not gonna pry.
I think Kibby likes to do makeup.
And that may be
Kibby likes to do makeup.
In which case, it's time well spent.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Kibby may be doing videos later, in which the eye makeup is necessary.
She's doing a live stream later, so
yeah. I do a little eye makeup for camera because I feel I'm totally washed out without it. It could just be a lighting situation. I heard like in the early days of COVID, someone saying, "Oh, you know, they put on makeup for a work meeting. Their partner was like, "Oh my gosh, are you hitting on someone? Clearly you have a thing for the person you had the meeting with." And I'm like, I don't wear makeup to day job when I go into the office, but when I'm on camera, I do, because lighting and recorded and things and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody is 12.
Somebody is 12.
And just in case, said that where he is, it's or
Like
she,
midnight
it's midnight 30. So, we make Kibby blush. But Kibby does like doing makeup. It's part of painting and art that she enjoys.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Well, I need to get. Let's see. Eva said, I've been working on a CP read instead of Nano, slowly but surely getting these notes moved into a format that makes sense.
Nice. CPs for the win.
Yeah, I do inline comments, and then I try to like summarize and do maybe some structural comments as like a comments at the start before they get into it.
Yeah.
Or like in the email I send it with or whatever, so.
But Jennifer, if you want to send me a message on the Book of Faces, like we can set something up.
So, Eva says, I've been reading and taking notes by hand as a way to rein in my notes. I tend to line edit as I go otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I am 100% a line editor. If you want me to not line edit, I can. But, I mean,
which is why it's important that you talk to your CP or your beta ahead of time and let them know what kind of commentary you expect.
Oh, you just reminded me. I'm doing a CP matchup actually for the Pitch Warrior hopefuls that didn't make it. Oh. And I should probably link for them my 10 questions to ask your beta readers as a remember.
Oh, that's a great idea.
If you want feedback, ask for what you want. These are my suggested.
Ask for what you want.
Yeah. The best
absolutely.
Right. And like nobody actually answers the questions I send, but it tells them the type of feedback I'm looking for.
Exactly.
So, you know, are you looking for structural? Are you looking for when do people get distracted? Are you looking for what scenes make the book for you and which ones, where do you get distracted? That's my stuff, what I like.
I know. I definitely like having inline comments, and I love it when people comment what they feel while they're reading the story.
Yeah,
because that is so much more useful than notes on, this sentence is a little long or awkward. If you're talking about, how you feel about what the characters are facing, or, ooh, you're in trouble now.
When I start responding to the characters, you've got me pulled in.
Yay!
Like, no, don't do it. And oh my God, are you really? Are you really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and one of my beta readers for Perils did just that for me. She would like get to one of the stingers I'd leave at the end of a scene or a chapter and give a response about where, what she was feeling about the characters, or she'd go up and she'd very typically ask a question that she felt needed to be answered about 2 paragraphs before I actually answered it, and then put a comment. Oh,
perfect. Yeah, Eva says dev edits just need to come first, so the line edits will change after revision. Yeah. That's not officially a dev edit. That's kind of how this CP is going. I get that.
I see mixed opinions on dev edits. Some people like them and feel like they really help them build out their story.
Oh my gosh, I can't live without them.
Like dev edits are asking somebody else to write or reshape your story for you.
Which is why I prefer to go to a professional when it comes to devs. And like I've said it before and I'll say it again, I feel like Morgan's dev edits are like super pro. So like, I went with Rose City Editing for Flambeau, and they did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
They tore that story apart, and I loved every minute of it. It was
Every
was
minute
great.
there was no like knee jerk like what okay fine.
No,
Really?
actually, he really did open up the already open links that we had. So he's like, how about we plug this link with this?
Okay.
Maybe we should develop this more. maybe this scene doesn't quite make sense with the rest of this, and stuff like that. So it was
Gotcha.
super useful. Super useful.
Awesome.
Well, leave a lot of notes. It can be overwhelming for the authors for sure. Well, I think that comes into what do they expect out of a CP with you? You know, like they should maybe sometimes let them know that you are inclined to write a lot of notes, so try not to take it too hard.
Yeah. I would think that if you do like a chapter or two as a tester to see if your communication methods are in sync, that's
Yeah.
one of the things that you can fine tune before you get into
Yep.
doing the big contract in terms of making sure that if you do have lots of notes that the authors take it properly. Like one thing I know that I've always done is when I get notes from an editor or beta reader, I consider them to be suggestions.
Yes.
Yes,
And
they
when they give you suggestions on how to fix something, that means you might want to look at that line. That does not in any way, shape, or form mean you need to fix it the way they suggested it.
Right. And in fact, I will often deliberately not fix it the way they suggested it, but come up with my own way to identify the problem and fix it. But it also means that when I give notes to somebody else, I phrase everything as a suggestion to make it clear, because some readers will get notes, or some writers will get notes back and say it's like, oh, they're telling me I have to do this and I must do this, and it's like, no, you don't. It's just spitballing.
I had an English teacher 4 times. She moved from the middle school to the high school with me.
Oh,
like the 4th time I had her is when she said, oh, these are suggestions, not fixes. And so I learned that in like 9th grade. So because of that teacher. But she loved my writing. She was super supportive of me like as a kid. So that was, but yeah, for the matchup I'm doing on the pitchfork groups, it's like put up your genre and Twitter size blurb, read through and comment on people that sound like a good match for you. Exchange first chapters to make sure your critique styles mesh. Please don't commit unless you think you can finish critiquing in under 3 months.
Yeah.
Especially since we're going to be doing another matchup in January for the people who are busy with Nano and holiday stuff for the rest of the year.
I think it's amazing that you're organizing such a thing. Holy cow.
I mean, it's a bunch of people who suddenly want critique partners because they didn't make it into Pitch Wars. And so it gives them some, a way to move forward from here. What's my next step?
Absolutely.
So, yeah. I do it every year. So, because I've never been selected. But I thought it was a really good idea the first time I did it. And so I just keep it up. So, yeah. Chandra says, when I read stuff, I sometimes reword as a suggestion instead of saying, this sentence is long or clunky. Yeah. I'll do both. I'll be like, this is a little awkward.
Yep.
Maybe something like
this.
Quote. Yeah. Yep.
So
definitely.
Chandra says, this is how I read it. I'm not sure if that's what you meant.
That is That is kind of what.
And
Yeah.
I find that really useful in terms of feedback instead
Mhm.
of someone saying, you don't want to say that. You want to say it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets really hazy because then, like, what are the odds that you could change the voice of
Mhm.
the story as a whole when
And
stuff like
sometimes
that
it's
happens?
just the voice doesn't work for that person, which is why exchanging that first chapter is key. If
Is
my voice
key.
confuses you, then we're not going to be a good match. If you don't
Yeah.
read in my genre, and therefore a lot of the like you want to change my style to something that doesn't fit my genre,
Yeah,
like
Yeah.
literary to
absolutely.
is
Absolutely.
not the right vibe.
Yeah,
So
but sometimes it is useful to have that contrarian voice, especially for like beta readers,
yeah.
because it lets you see that point of view, and you still get to decide what you're going to do.
Right. Yeah. It's your world. It's your story. You can throw out all the changes, but
and they sometimes point out important things you need to fix, even
Yeah.
though all their fixes are wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. Or maybe one sentence 3 chapters earlier would set it up properly. And then they're not, shocked when this thing happens. Or they're not confused about, wait, where did this come from? And you're like, I thought I made it clear, but if
You have
clarifying
some foreshadowing,
Mhm.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe it'll catch
A
you
lot
soon.
of the big changes that like really intimidate me a lot of times end up being the smallest edits just by like setting it up properly so it works. So Eva says, if I have a suggested change, I always have a note to why. It can get daunting. So this is just notes summarized under categories.
That's how Rose City Editing did it.
Okay.
Was under categories.
Gotcha.
That way, it was more so done in like it was all big picture stuff.
Okay.
Pertaining to this character, pertaining to this character, pertaining to these couple of characters. And it was so much easier to communicate to us like the fixes that we wanted to make, let alone the kinds that they were recommending.
Yeah, and that's great because you're not only giving fixes back to the author, you're also teaching them how to think about their story so that they write better the first time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Jennifer asks, have any of you noticed in your writing when you start writing, you think it fits one genre, and the longer it gets, it definitely something other than what you originally thought?
Yes. I have a thing for writing thrillers. And I was like, I'm going to shift things and write a mystery. No, it's a thriller. Oh, well.
I originally started out writing steampunk adventure, and I just started putting in a couple in jokes here and there. And by the time I was finished with the book, it's like this whole thing is just hilarious. I cannot pretend it is not a comedy.
I cannot pretend it is not a comedy.
Nice. And I think we all know I'm retrying last year's space fantasy that turned from space fantasy into tax fraud and school field trips.
Oh.
I mean, school field trips with like 100 baby octopi, like swimming through like the space station. I mean, it wasn't. I didn't jump like settings, but
it
wasn't the story I wanted.
There is a whole lot of setting as wonder possibilities there, but again, if that's not the story you want to tell this time, then
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it is like 6:45.
You got to roll.
I got to roll.
Okay.
But it was super fun. I'm so glad I got some words in, and a bunch of other stuff too. And I will catch you guys next week.
Definitely. Her links are below. She's awesome. Things and stuff. Check out Sako to me, also known as Cass Voit, everywhere.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Later, Sako.
Okay, I'm going to bounce back into the comments.
We're not neglecting the comments because they're good.
Yeah, I love this discussion. I am here for it. So, Chandra said, I also like when I accidentally call out. I love how this led up to it. Oh, it was a typo? And Eva says every time she tries romance, it turns into something else.
Now I want to know what it turns into.
Yeah. Jennifer says she's done the, oh, that didn't lead up to that. That was a typo. Jennifer asks how my space fantasy turned into tax fraud and school field trips. Well, I tried to get her into space through the sentient octopi people, and then I got a little too much into the nitty gritty of how things worked, and I was trying to figure out why her family was stuck on the planet, and I was trying to make her aunt's a bad person, but she was an accountant, so it turned into tax fraud. So
yeah, kind of followed a bit far afield there.
It got off track. So Eva says, I preface my feedback. It's only suggestions and based off personal reader. I don't disclaim every note, though. Yeah. Authors just got to go into feedback with that as the default. Yep. Bye, Eva. Oh, wait, no. Saying bye to Sako. Right.
Oh.
Hello, Key Clavis, and welcome. Greetings and hallucinations.
No, I haven't been putting any of that in my drink yet. No.
And Eva said, my romances end up thrillers, although I've only tried a couple. Legit. So awesome.
For it.
Right? So did we want to do a few more words?
Yeah, I think I'm willing to do one more sprint, and then we probably
maybe
should
a
call
15-minute sprint
because a proper meal does need to be in the offing. So
yeah. So let's do 15 minutes and wrap at the top of the hour.
All right.
So ready in 3, 2, 1, boom. Let's do this. And that was the last sprint, at least tonight for me.
For now.
Right. So how many words did you get in?
Let's see. I got in 364 words.
Nice. I got 167 and I only needed 130. There may have been a potty break in there too.
Those are important too.
I started a new chapter. We just got to the part where the human main character and the octopus main character are in the same scene. So
see, I'm at a space where the professor has captured one of the Sky Pirates biplanes and has had the crew repair the damage, and they're preparing to launch it to go after the scoundrels who have absconded with Miss Bang and Tinka.
They took Miss Bang and Tinka? Tinka didn't like knock them upside the head with like a spare wrench?
They were literally caught up in a net that was being towed behind another biplane.
And wrenches aren't great for cutting things.
Yeah, wrenches aren't great for cutting things. But so now they're getting ready to launch this off the top of the Argos. So because if you're going to do something, why not do it foolhardily?
Sure, why not? So anyway, Eva says, yay, bonus sprint. Alley Cat says, I've been reading as you guys have been talking and enjoying the conversation. Jennifer says, my YA mystery turned into a dark academia. Sorry. Although I guess those have elements of the same thing. Yeah, I can see that. Key Clavis has been dealing with COVID, chemo, recumbent, Renault-like-it, colony stimulator factor. My skeleton is at war with me. On the upside, my ex is now married to his sweetie, so good riddance. Yay for them moving on. It's always great when an ex moves on.
End of alimony or something like that. I don't know.
I'm just looking forward to can be in the same room without getting pouty.
Yep.
And weird.
As long as you consider it an upside, it's an upside.
Right, exactly. Chandra says, I've had it happen to me and done it to someone else. I think we're changing.
That was about mystery turning into dark academia, I think.
Gotcha.
So having genre change radically without
without signaling.
Yeah.
Alley Cat switched books and read a bit more and wrote 230 words. Oh my gosh, like a boss, yo.
And I just double checked my nano stats, and I am at 18,017 for the day.
Nice.
And the target I need to hit to be not caught up but back on schedule is 1904. So I just need to get in another 100 words today, which I can do leisurely after dinner.
Right, definitely. So Raven swung by. Hello, Raven. Stopping by briefly before bed. Made significant progress on Nano, writing just over 2,000 words. Snaps. So one crafty lady, hello and welcome, says, I always admire people who can be civil to their exes. I pretend all mine are dead. That's probably not healthy, but whatever. I have one I just don't talk to at all. One I occasionally catch up with, and the most recent but also longest. I mean, we were married for almost 10 years. I live near where he works, and we have a lot of mutual friends, and it would be nice to go to a thing without him being like, oh, I'm not going because she's going to be there, or have him go and not like sulk at me and or leave the room every time I walk in.
Yeah, get a life, dude.
A little emo. I mean, I know I'm amazing and hard to get over, but so what you gonna do?
Yeah.
As exes go, it's not the worst. I mean, being emo and nostalgic at me is not the worst.
I guess
reaction an ex can do.
it really depends on if your ex is an ex because they really turned out to be a toxic person, or if
Yeah.
it just didn't work out. It's like,
Yeah.
my ex is okay. Things didn't work out. What they wanted, what I wanted, didn't necessarily
Yeah.
mesh. I hope that they're happy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm moving on, finding my own happiness.
For us, I think the last straw was when he decided his chronic depression was my fault, despite the fact he'd always had it. But, having a reason to be depressed feels a lot better than being depressed because your biochemistry does it to you.
See, to me, that's a reason. And that's not just a reason, that's a fixable reason. There's medicine for that.
So anyway.
But I'm well known to be opinionated. So
right.
Back to the chat.
Eva says, I got lost in chatting with the other author over transcribing the notes. And Raven said, doing a lot of catch up with a slow start so far. I get that. Mm-hmm. Eva, definitely sympathies for Key Clavis, and we hope it does become more smoother and more manageable. Eva says, 21 years with this dude. The one before is the father of my eldest. I see or speak to him only when I must. The eldest is grown now, so that means never, for the most part, interactions. Just in case, doesn't have time for NaNoWriMo. Too many commissioned short stories and articles. Yay for getting paid for your work. That is next. That's next on my list.
It's always nice to have work paid for up front.
Yeah. Ooh, Eva says, ex-chat. Yay, my ex is a felon. Well, good riddance. I'm glad you're clear of that. And it sounds like you're doing much, much better.
Yeah.
We dated before adulthood, so felonhood came after. But the reasons were consistent.
I'm helping a friend who is going through a divorce, and it's like her ex is a narcissist, and the scars, the emotional scars that she's having to deal with just breaks my heart.
Yeah. So says, my ex is dead. Well, that makes it really easy to pretend your ex is dead and never interact with them. So yeah, definitely. Well, I think most of us got some productivity in, and the rest of us all of us got some social in. But for me, it is after 7, and Doc and I believe, are both looking for dinner.
Yep.
So we're going to announce.
At least I know what I'm making for dinner today.
I have my stew leftovers.
Did you store it properly this time?
I did. Says, my hubby is more upset about the death than me because he never got to tell my ex, thank you for divorcing her. Eva said it was fun. Hey, if you're late, you're late. Even if it's nano, it's still my lazy productivity stream. You can snack all day if you want and roll up 5 minutes before the end. We're good with that.
Always next week, right?
Yeah. And I will be back next Sunday. That's the plan. So I will let people know if anything changes. For the 12th time this year, my mom is scheduled to meet up with the doctor to see about this upcoming surgery that may or may not get scheduled. So Wednesday, I should find out if it's going to be a laparoscopic thing or a crack her chest open thing. So
what fun.
We'll see if we're talking 3 weeks recovery or 3 months. Hopefully, unless they put it off again. So yeah. My mom just has a valve that needs replacing. It's not urgent, apparently. So
how many times have they put it off? So how urgent could it be?
Exactly. So just in case, says my fiance, a Bulgarian-born Russian philologist, and I'm so sorry, was killed. I'm so sorry. That's so rough. Says, I get 10 minutes of socialization. Now I need to start on something. So yay, friends. Well, thank you all for sharing with us. I know we got touched some dark stuff. A lot of us are dealing with a lot. But we are here to write and support each other. And I will see you again next week. Doc, did you want to give your outro?
I am Doc Coleman. I'm an independently published steampunk author. You can find all my stuff by checking the links down below, or if that's too hard for you to do, you can search for Doc Coleman Steampunk. You will find my Amazon page and my websites, if I can ever get Swimming Cat Studios to stay up. But I'm getting parsing errors. It's a pain.
You need a new host?
All of my sites are hosted on the same site. It's something in this one site that is giving me parsing errors, and I've gotten it fixed, and it's like I need to get it fixed again, which requires going to the host's tech support, and then while it's fixed, going through all of my plugins and figuring out which one is the problem. So.
Ugh. That's a pain.
And it's got to be a plugin I only use on that one site.
Gotcha. So, and I'm your host, Morgan Hazelwood. I am an actively querying and getting form rejected fantasy author, as well as someone barely keeping up with NaNoWriMo by the skin of her teeth. And, I'm comfortable with that. So thank you all for joining. It was great to have you, and have a good week, and hope to see you next week. I'll be back at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time next week. Bye-bye.